Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I need to talk about this thing that dads keep doing that needs to stop. So losing dads who lost in court and got screwed by a corrupt court system come on my page and say that I'm lying and you can't win. And in most of my videos, if I haven't caught up to all of them, then sorry, but most of my videos, I have a link to me winning in the Court of Appeals over an attorney with 50 years experience. And I don't have a law degree. What more proof do you need to see than winning court orders? What are you talking about? A lot of you dads got beat so bad in your court case, you just think that there's no hope and nobody could ever win. And you don't want to admit the fact that you probably didn't do everything right and you didn't care enough to do any research on your own case because you blindly trusted an attorney. And when he screwed you over, you paid another attorney 5 to 10 grand. And when they screwed you over, you paid another attorney 5 to 10 grand. Don't come in my comments and say, there's no hope, James is lying. That's dumb. There's a guy on another page who the first thing out of his mouth is saying, the family court system is no joke, make sure you get a lawyer. And then a guy in the comments said, I did fine without a lawyer. And then the guy who hosted the video said, this is horrible advice. You stupid, dumbed down, airheaded, moronic piece of crap. You got screwed in your own case with a lawyer and you're telling everybody, go do what you did to lose. This is the stupidity that's in the father's rights movement. This is what's so outrageous and stupid and dumb about my gender. Mothers got screwed in family court in the early 1900s and got kicked out on the street. Did they sit and sulk and whine and cry? No, they got together and created a radical feminist movement that totally dominates. You punk sissy cowards are out here whining and crying, and then when a dad shows you answers and shows you how to win in court, then you're like you act like a little female who just got dumped for prom, and then she's hating on the girl the guy took to prom. You're acting like a female. You're acting like an emotional basket case female. Now, this isn't everybody. It's just these stupid, dumbed down, airheaded, lazy, shiftless fathers that prove why they lost in their court case. I have a link to me winning in the Court of Appeals. Your lawyer would never go to the Court of Appeals because most lawyers don't, because it's too challenging for them. And I won and got my judge reversed and kicked butt over a 50-year veteran attorney. And then I'll share my winning orders with any client or anybody who wants to verify before they talk to me. I got my custody order with my signature, the mother's attorney's signature. He had 17 years experience, the mother, and a guardian ad litem. I was outnumbered 3-1, and I kicked their butt, and I got full custody. How many more victories do you need to know before you stop saying that I'm lying and I'm making this stuff up? You stupid morons are the reason why nothing has changed in the system, because the father's rights movement is filled with complete buffoons and idiots like you. Where you say, don't be aggressive. Don't do that. Don't do this. You need to get a lawyer. And you lost and you got your butt kicked doing all those things. Like if you think about like the worst sports team or your sports team that's never won a championship or anything like that, should they go out and give advice on how to win a championship? What you're doing is so stupid. It's like saying, I don't know about that Michael Jordan guy. He tells you this is how you should play basketball. I don't know about him. Look at his 6 trophies and his 6 or 7 or 8 MVPs, you stupid jackass. What more proof do you need that he knows what he's talking about? You lost in court and you're so devastated that you project that on everybody else. And when you hear that I won in court, you can't believe it because you're so stupid. You think the entire world revolves around you. Most normal human beings, when they lose or do something wrong and they see somebody winning or doing something right, they say, how did they do it? Only in the father's rights movement that doesn't really even exist, or only when it comes to father's rights, does this group of people act this stupid. The only one that comes close, like I said, is a jealous, scorned woman. All you men are acting like a bunch of feminine little simp, coward, sissy little females who got your feelings hurt. And then you're mad when you hear that somebody got full custody without a lawyer and you spend $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. So then you come into my comments and you try and tell everybody that I'm lying. And I got a link in the cat under the video. I got a link showing that I won. You are a loser, and you lost, and you didn't have enough balls to fight for your kid, because after the attorney screwed you over the first time in the first $5,000, that should have been it for you. You should have searched high and low for other answers. And you know how long it took me to search high and low before the internet to find a mentor that taught me how to fight on my own? You know how long it took me before the internet? 2 days. I talked to a few different attorneys, and because I'm not a coward like you, and because I got a pair and I'm a real man, I said every other weekend isn't good enough. Click, and I hung up on their face. The first one I talked to was Goldberg and Jones out of Seattle, divorce lawyers for men. They pretend that they care about men. They have a good pitch. But the content of what they're saying was such bullcrap that I said, no, my kid's more important than that. But a bunch of you lazy, shiftless, bum, idiotic, stupid dads just blindly say, oh, okay, whatever, okay, just do whatever. I'll give you $10,000 to try and fight for me to be a every other weekend visitor in my kid's life. That makes sense. You're the dumbass. You're the reason why the court system is the way it is. Because guys won't stand up and fight the right way like I did, like thousands of other guys did, like the 200 plus guys I helped get full custody. And then when you guys go form fathers' rights movement groups, you sit around and sulk and whine and cry about how the system sucks so bad that you never do anything to change it. I'm probably doing more stuff out in the street, protesting and communicating with people. I know I'm doing way more in court, helping people win in court, than the entire father rights movement nationwide combined, maybe going back 20 years. One person. All you guys are doing is crawling into a corner in the fetal position and sucking your thumb and trying to think of a happy place at your little kumbaya meetings where you're like, oh, we all suck, this sucked. I went to a father's rights meeting. The last father's rights meeting I went to, all they did was whine and cry about how the system sucks. One guy said he hadn't seen his kid in a year. I said, why don't you do a contempt motion? He said, I tried 1 year ago and lost. You stupid jackass, you're gonna quit because you lost one time? I went to court 4 times and didn't get any visitation. And on the 5th try, I got 5 days a week. Then I got the mother found in contempt. I have those winning orders. I have copies of them I could share with people. And they show my signature all by myself because I represented myself, and the mother and her attorney. See, you guys are such lazy bums you can't fathom, and now it is a daunting task to go to court. But you have the ability to learn how to do it, because I've worked with construction workers who don't like to read, who put on their own 3 or 4 day trials. All the information's out there. The information out there on the internet to do just about anything in life. But you're such a hater, and you're such a dumb little punk that you'll go on a page where somebody actually has some answers, and you'll discourage other fathers from getting the answers. You're a sellout. That's what it is. That's what pisses me off. Go ahead and go in your little loser world and stay in your little corner and stay in your lane and be a pathetic loser and don't ever fight for your kid and whine and cry like the guy did at the last father's rights meeting I went to, where he said, I lost once. I said, well, try again. Oh, no, it's too hard and stuff like that. I won my first contempt motion on my first try. I know a lot of people who did a contempt motion, they gave the mother a slap on the wrist, but when they did it again, they got her found in contempt. And then they did it again. I know a guy who got the mother found in contempt 5 times in a couple years. You're a bunch of quitters. You're projecting your dumbass, quitting, whining, crying, little baby simp, lazy bum, quitting MO onto everybody else. You can't believe somebody won because you're so devastated. You didn't even try and fight in your case. 100% of everybody I ever talked to, before they talked to me, they did something wrong in their case, or they did mostly everything wrong. Okay? I can guarantee you did something wrong, or you didn't fight the right way. Just real quick, did your attorney do a deposition on the mother immediately in your case? If you lost a court hearing, did you ever do a motion for reconsideration? Did you ever appeal anything? Did you ever do contempt the first time the mother violated any part of a court order to hold her accountable? Why not? I have a whole video on why aren't you doing contempt right now. Check that out. And then on here, you know what you can also do? If you're not a lazy bum, simp, coward, little punk, sissy dad who doesn't even care about his kids, you know what you can actually do? The stuff I talk about, you could go look it up yourself and research it, or click the links that I have and look for yourself. And you don't even have to pay me a dime. That's how stupid you are. Everything that I have on these, people can take all my free videos and run with them and really literally go to court. I know a guy who got full custody in Chicago. He never even talked to me. He did an interview with somebody else, and he mentioned me and said that he watched my videos along with one other mentor type of father's rights guy. And he got full custody. He did it all on his own, and he went to court hearings himself, and he studied and researched. And the way that I'm telling people to do stuff or how to find stuff is 100 times faster than when I did it on my own. So if a guy halfway around the country can just watch my free videos and totally on his own get full custody, why are you in my comments saying, well, I don't know if I could trust James? Look at the link in the video, below the video, you stupid jackass. And tell me that winning reversal in the Court of Appeals, if you could have done that yourself, or if your attorney would have done that. Then tell me I'm lying. I won a reversal in the Court of Appeals. Most attorneys have never done that before. Most attorneys never go to the Court of Appeals. I won a discretionary review, which is harder than a reversal in the Court of Appeals. I could have actually won another one. My daughter was getting so old and I was dealing with teenage issues that I didn't bother finishing up the appeal. I just dropped an appeal that I could have won. And it kind of wasn't like a moot point. It was like I would have just been able to say, nah, I won, and that wouldn't have done me any good. Because I've been a single custodial parent. I've been a single custodial parent since my daughter was 7 months old. And stupid jackasses like some dumb idiots in the comments are saying, oh, I don't know if I could trust James. So, this isn't to everybody. This is to you morons who lose in court and don't do it right, and then somebody wins and you say, oh, that's impossible to win. You must be lying because I lost. No, you did it wrong, you idiot. Own it. Now, the system tells you to do what you did. Yeah, I understand that. You got bamboozled to do what everybody else does. I'm not everybody else. I'm different. That's why I'm spearheading this stuff, and I'm out at the forefront telling people stuff that nobody else is telling them. Because I had a pair, and really what I'm telling you and a lot of other people, deep down, you really, really know it. You're just in denial. And you hate the fact that somebody won, and you didn't even try it, or something. It's something weird, because you sure as heck are some kind of stupid jackass of a pathological liar making all kinds of comments in my videos saying, I don't know about James. I don't know if you could trust him. That doesn't make sense. The court system sucks. We already know the court system sucks, you idiot. I got proof that I overcame that stuff. Why wouldn't you say, the first thing should be out of your mouth, wow, how did you do that? But you shouldn't even have to ask me, because I give you links on there. Or if you wanted an appointment with me, I'll send you my winning court orders to back up what I'm saying. I tell people, don't even believe what I'm saying. Make me prove it. You're so stupid, you didn't even make your attorney prove that they knew what they were talking about. When you hire a plumber, do you hire a plumber that just came out of plumber certification school or whatever they do, or an electrician, or if you're going to get a surgery, do you get someone right out of med school, or do you ask, how many times have you done this? Or I want a doctor who's performed this surgery several times. You'll do it with anything else except, and this is common among men, you'll do it with your vehicle. You'll only trust a mechanic who's been working on cars for years. You won't trust a rookie, or you'll make them prove that they know what they're talking about. You care more about your property and your things than you do about your kids, because you're a stupid jackass when it comes to that, because you think, oh, I'm a good dad, and you probably are. Most dads are. But you're a lazy, passive bum who doesn't care about getting off his lazy ass and doing something about your own case. You had a kid with a crazy woman. Get off your rear and do something about it. While your attorney is not answering your phone calls and being lazy and stuff, get proactive and research some laws yourself and tell your attorney what you want the attorney to say. Look up the rules of professional conduct. Watch my free video that tells you how to deal with an attorney who isn't working that hard for you. This isn't that hard, but there's a lot of dads who come in on the comments and say that I'm full. Not all of them, 90% of you guys realize I know what I'm talking about. But these haters that are trying to discourage somebody, they're like a Judas coming in. There's dads who need my information and need the help I offer. And then some stupid jackass sellout punk Judas betrayer to all fathers everywhere wants to discourage. You've never tried anything I've talked about. You haven't even listened to me because you're obviously too dumb and dense to look down and see the link where I prove that I've won in the Court of Appeals. You have an unteachable spirit. You can't listen to what somebody says and then use deductive reasoning and apply it and look at, oh, well, okay, he said that he won and here's some proof somewhere. Where's the proof? Well, there's a link. Let me check this out. Oh, reversed in the Court of Appeals and it's online and it's a public case? Then you should shut the hell up. Unless you're going to say, James, how can I get some help? Or how can you help me or work with my situation? Or is there any hope in my situation? Or I did it all wrong. But your ego is too big to admit that you screwed up and you didn't care enough about your kids to put up a fight. So this is my shut the hell up answer to all you stupid jackasses in the comment that says James is lying. Now, I'm not personally offended that you're a stupid, lazy bum jackass who didn't care about your kid and you're projecting your losses on everybody else and you're such a loser, you're passing your loser mentality to everybody. I'm not offended at that. You're just a loser and a bum who wants to just live the rest of your life talking about how the system sucks and do nothing about it. I'm offended that you're in there trying to discourage other dads who could get help from me and could win their case, and you're trying to turn them away because you're a pathetic loser. Take your pathetic losing ass somewhere else and go be a loser. I know just the right, I already mentioned them. I know just the right group for you. In every state or every region, there's a father's rights movement group of a bunch of sissy, effeminate, she-male Mitches of men who want to sit and pout. Just like if you ever saw the Jerry Maguire movie, what's it called, with the Show Me the Money thing with Cuba Gooding Jr. and he's the agent. I can't remember the name of the movie. Hopefully y'all know you remember what I'm talking about. But Tom Cruise's girlfriend was in the little woman-hating club where they got together and talked about how men suck. But deep down, she really wanted a man. She's like, screw you, I'm not going to die an old maid. I want my man. Okay? Some of you fathers get in here and you just want to have a pity party because you lost once or twice and you're so ballless you don't want to keep fighting and do motions for reconsiderations or appeal or petition to modify. You quit because it's so traumatizing to you. You would be like that in the Saving Private Ryan. You would be like that medic in Saving Private Ryan when they went out on the battlefield. They found a German. If you didn't see Saving Private, oh well, but in Saving Private Ryan, they found a German soldier and they're like, let's kill him. And this medic, who was a little sissy little punk, they're off in war. And war is hell and his killer be killed. This guy says, we can't do this. This is wrong. Let him go. Just let him go. They let him go. They let that little punk sissy sellout convince him to let him go. Later on in the movie, now it's fictional, but it's still a great lesson. Later on in the movie, the guy, the little sissy coward young medic who wasn't even out there fighting with the guys telling him to stop fighting, he watched another soldier and he had a gun on him. He could have killed this German guy. He watched that same German guy kill one of his comrades. He watched him die. And he could have stopped him then, but it would have never happened if he would have said, okay, let's take him out. But he deterred them. Some of you guys want to deter other guys from fighting. Go join the fathers' rights movement groups because all they want to do is whine, cry, piss and moan like a bunch of sissies. They're too scared. And I posted this. I have a lot more videos on Instagram. I posted this several times. I talked to fathers' rights movement group leader in, I think it was Ohio. And I was talking to one in Michigan. When there was a father arrested in Michigan for contempt for talking bad about a judge in public or online. He got arrested. He was prosecuted for criminal contempt, and they acquitted him after about 9 minutes of deliberation. You know why? Because it's a constitutional right in America to speak the way you want. I DM'd the fathers' rights movement leader in Ohio. This punk sissy sellout told me we're not going to go there because that guy broke the law. He didn't break the law. He violated an unconstitutional court order that he can't talk and exercise his free speech right. And you know what the guy said? He said, plus, we're trying to change laws in Ohio and in Michigan and stuff, and we're getting any good with legislators. So you're a total Judas, a total little prostitute and a tricked out hoe in the fathers' rights movement, Ohio, and in Michigan, and I think there's maybe one in Wisconsin. In that area, you guys could have descended upon the courthouse, could have made a media stink, and could have brought attention to how corrupt the family court system is, because nobody cares about family court. Nobody cares about how you got screwed in a family court case. But when you get stuff that reaches out to like free speech and getting arrested for criticizing a judge, all of America would care about that. That was a prime opportunity for you to send upon the courts. But these guys wouldn't do it. Why? Because they're offended that guy had some balls and wasn't a little simp like the rest of you little punk sissy cowards. And because you guys are riding the jock straps of these legislators, and you're a bunch of clout chasers who like to get photo ops with legislatures, and it's stroking your little ego that you're going down to the legislature and getting pictures taken with politicians, and you're all feeling good about yourself because it's the first time you did something like this in your life, and you don't want to ruffle any feathers by being honest, you little punk sellout. You little punk sellout mofo bees is what you are. God, you guys make me sick. And then people just like that. People talk about the fathers' rights movement and changing laws and stuff like that. First of all, I have a whole video on how changing laws to 50-50 won't work. And the latest one that was changed in, I think it was Arkansas, doesn't help because the judge still is allowed to go back to whatever he thinks is the best interest of the child. He could totally ignore the law. And all these fathers' rights movement people are totally geeked, and they got their egos, they're puffing and puffing, and they're having, an ecstatic, orgasmic, wonderful time because this law passed. And they didn't even read the law. They're so stupid. Just like the guys in my comments that don't read or listen to what I say. You shouldn't believe what I'm saying. Look at my winning orders. Don't believe me just because I say it. But you'll go and pay an attorney $10, $20, $30, $100,000, and they haven't proved jack squat to you. You just trust them because they wear a suit and tie, you stupid jackass. You're a sellout to your own kids, too. Now, some of you, I might wake some of you up, and that'd be great. If I offend people for this, I don't give a damn, because I'm here to help guys with balls who are soldiers and warriors who want to fight for their kids. I'm not here to help the simp, sissy cowards who get in the comments and whine and cry. But I'm here responding to them to let you know that you're a bunch of stupid, moronic idiots and you're the liars. Here's the answers for people to have the best chance to get something fair, and you're telling people don't listen because this is what you're saying. From your perspective, you're saying, I lost in my case, the system sucks. Don't listen to what James said because I lost and I'm so hopeless. You're a loser. Go hang with the losers. Or come on the winning side and learn something, you stupid jackass. So, dads, you need to stop doing that. It's not all of you, but the ones who come on here, do some research. If you actually care about your kids, do some research and prove me wrong. Go look at my link, or go look up some of the stuff that I'm talking about. You're free to do it, but you don't want to do that. It just sounds too good to be true, so you blow it off like any other lazy, sissy, punk coward who doesn't really care about his kids because you never did research on your own family law case. You never held your own attorney to the fire. You never pushed your attorney to fight and get on the offensive. You never questioned anything like a good, dumbass little sheep. That's why America's been in trouble for the past several decades. That's why the feminist movement dominated, took over, because of weak, ballless, limp-wristed, coward, metrosexual, effeminate, millennial, Generation X, punk, sissy, coward, she-male men with no balls. No wonder women are out there saying, where are the real men at? Grow a pair. Now, I'm no big-time alpha male, egomaniac, huff and puff my chest. I was a beta male most of my life. I grew up with 3 sisters and a mom. My dad wasn't really around. He was there, but not there. But when it came time, when somebody was taking my daughter from me, that lion in me rose up, just like it should with you. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get guys that draw that lion out of them. But I'm not going to do a pep speech for you more than once. If you get offended at what I say, it's because you're a punk and a simp and you're not ready for war over your kid. If you check yourself and you say, yeah, I was wrong, or James, those words are kind of harsh, but what he's saying is true, or like I've been a little punk sissy myself. It's time for me to grow up and be a man. That's who I'm trying to help. Now, if I was in here just trying to make money, I would shuck and jive everybody and get everybody to contribute some money to me. But I do not want to help any fruity little sensitive, extra scared, shivering simps and wimps who want to huddle in a corner and just want a hug session. We can hug after you win. You're in a war, it's kill or be killed. You're in boot camp if you're dealing with me. And this isn't how I talk when I'm dealing with consultations. This is only how I talk to haters and to traitors and to sell out punk sissy bees of men who come on my page and try and discourage other men from getting answers to help them win. Just because you're a loser and you don't want to fight for your kids, or you're too much of a coward to grow a pair and do something about it, doesn't mean you need to discourage other men from getting some answers. Grow up and get a life. And if you're inspired by this message and you've been a simp or a punk and now you want to be a man and fight for your kids, give me a call. My phone number's will be in the video. Below the video, in the caption, in the description below. My phone number and contact and email. The best way to get a consult with me is by texting me or calling me. So you could do the lawyer thing and do somebody who went to law school, some kid who grew up with a golden spoon in his mouth, whose parents weren't divorced. They can't empathize with you. They're living a little goody two shoes. Lily white picket fence, live in the suburbs, $1 million mansion. They're living the good life, so they can't empathize with the pain you're suffering, and they just go through the motions and do what they do because that's what they were trained to do when they came out of law school. You could go with that. Or you could talk to somebody who actually won. You could read books on School for the Warriors and how to engage in a fight. Or you can learn from somebody who actually won. You can go read a book on how to ride a bike, or you can get on a bike and have your older brother who's actually ridden a bike show you how to do it. But I have no pay. I've been doing this for 20 years. Thousands of cases. Thousands of dads and moms who won without an attorney, and some little hater little prick comes on my page and says, I don't know how to trust, you can't trust James. When there's a link in the description, like I said, I don't know how many more times I should, it's just crazy that you're such a stupid jackass, and you just proved why you lost in your case. So I'll just leave it there. All you guys who want to fight, it takes a warrior to want to fight for your kid. You're in a corrupt system, get over it. It's not going anywhere because the father's rights movement idiots who've been around and come and went for 50 years, everybody who was in the father's rights movement when I got in family court is gone now. They're either dead or they're burnt out and they quit. I'm still here. So either talk to a warrior who's still, and I don't even have to do this stuff. This stuff is aggravating and it's hard. And it enrages me just as much as anybody else because I'm still a father who still has a kid, and I got friends who are going through this stuff too. Trying to get out of the light. Nope, that's not good. Okay. So this stuff still aggravates me. I don't even have to be doing this. All the other father's rights movement guys, they all disappear after their case is over or a couple years afterward. They get in the father's rights movement to do stuff. 99% of people who say, I want to help the cause, disappear after their case is over. I'm still here 20 years after I got full custody, you stupid jackass sellouts who are sitting there criticizing me. I don't even have to be here at all. And there's thousands of dads who are seeing their kids now only because I stuck around. And your dumb ass is up here hating. There's your father's rights movement for you. If you guys don't believe me, go join a father's rights movement on Facebook and ask them why the dads aren't going for full custody, why they're only going for 50-50. You go for 50-50, you're saying that the crazy, narcissistic, child-abusing, alienating mother is a good parent. You just gave her credibility, you stupid moron. That's a losing argument. She's going for full custody. You're going for 50-50, saying she's a great mom. She's saying you're only good enough to be an every other weekend dad. You just said she's good. She's credible. You can trust her. You just fed them her case. You moron. So go ask the father's rights. Why aren't you going for full custody? They'll say, oh, we don't want to take the kids away from the mom. That's lowering ourselves to their standard. You stupid jackass. This isn't about that. And even if you got full custody, you have control of the kid, and you could give the kid to the mom anytime you want. Duh. But if she's in control with your losing strategy, which is what's likely going to happen, you'll never see the kid 1 minute beyond your limited time, you idiot. And then you want to sit there and go, well, at least I did the right thing and I didn't ask for more than 50-50. The end goal is to be in your kid's life, you pathetic, low IQ subhuman piece of garbage. My sister with Down syndrome can figure this out better than you can, you idiot. I'd literally rather have a logical conversation with my sister with Down syndrome than a guy in the father's rights movement groups. Because the goal is, if you're the good parent and the other person's a narcissist, why do you want them to have 50-50 in joint decision making and conflict in every decision that's made? You idiot. Why do you want to lock in conflict until the kids are 18? If they're a narcissistic control freak, why do you want them to have equal say-so? Almost every single law in America says the court has to consider the mental fitness of each parent. You're saying that they got mental problems, but then you're saying you be a bad guy. See what you guys are. You're brainwashed like a bunch of punk little simp ballless cowards into believing that it's blasphemy to ask for full custody. You think you're righteous or you're better than everybody else, or you're taking the high road. You don't win any points for that, you moron. The only thing I could prove it by looking at the results of your stupid case, because you're not even trying to fight for your kids. You're helping the child abuser win by only asking for 50-50. They're going to give custody to somebody. Courts almost never give 50-50 to people who are fighting. You have a better chance of getting custody. So you're engaging in a losing strategy, and you're a moron, and you don't care about your kids. You're selling out your own kids. If you really think you're the better parent, go for full custody. I talk about this stuff all the time on my Instagram page. It's easier to upload videos there. It takes a lot longer here, and I gotta tweak them and do some stuff on YouTube. And YouTube is more instructional stuff. But since I got some hater comments on YouTube, several different places, I thought I'd address this. It's time for emasculated, feminized, effeminate, simp, coward men to grow some balls and fight for your kids. That's what this channel is about. If you're not encouraged to fight by hearing that this former beta male right here, a warehouse worker who flunked out of college, fought and got full custody, and I was dragged in and out of court for 18 years off and on also. But I was in control of my kid the whole time. That's the whole point, you stupid morons. And I'm talking about the haters who get, I don't know how to trust James. I don't know if he knows what he's talking about. All you got to do, most people listen to me and know that I know what I'm talking about. But still, then I want to convince you, and I want you to know that you know that I know what I'm talking about. So I say, look at my winning court order. That's in the link. I can provide other court orders for you. But deep down, you know I know what I'm talking about. A lot of you just don't like it because you have to admit that I was a punk sissy coward and didn't fight for my kid like I should have. And that's your defense mechanism, like a good little narcissist female that you are deep down in your heart. Go be a loser in your own loser world, or go to a father's rights movement meeting. But leave the desperate, needy fathers alone in my comments who need help and who can only find answers with me, you punk sissy Judas sellouts to the movement that you think you're part of.